Hey everyone, I'm going to show you how to replace, or at least the steps you would take to replace a AC compressor in your car. If you've identified that it's bad, it doesn't just need more Freon or refrigerant in it. So once you have the new AC compressor, first off you want to make sure that there's enough oil in it. This is it right here. I have another video if you want to go ahead and watch that as well on a Ford Taurus. So this is just kind of another type of vehicle. This is a 1999 Buick Lesabre Custom. So and it's got the 3.8 liter engine. So it's just different than the 2004 Ford Taurus one that I also replaced it on. So this one has a lot more space just kind of in this area, and just kind of provides a different angle. A lot of the steps are similar, but I did find out some stuff that's different in this vehicle and could very well just be of help to you when you're doing it with yours. So basically I took out both of the fans. I think these were all 10 millimeter in all of these, and I think there was 1 or 2 on the bottom for each, so I just slid on their vehicle, very easy to access. And when I pull those up, it's like I have so much more space. It's basically like the engine all the way to the radiator, and it's very easy to slide it through. So I took those out first. I took out the air box just because that's where I ended up sliding it up right here. So I slid the AC compressor all along the bottom, and then under this radiator hose here and up right there. But again, very easy to take these off. 2 screws, a flathead screwdriver, and then a flathead screwdriver on that clamp there. And I don't know if these were factory bolts or not, but I think that these were like a 1/4. Like it wasn't even metric. So I don't know. Anyway, when I was taking off the serpentine belt, because that's the first step you have to do, you have to take the serpentine belt off. I'll have another video on my channel on how to take off the serpentine belt on this vehicle. I have another one. It's honestly pretty self-explanatory, pretty easy to figure out, but just so you guys are aware, this is the tensioner bolt right here. So some vehicles models have a little notch, square notch, that you can stick a tool in and pull it to release the tension. In this case, you're gonna need a breaker bar or a ratchet, and this is a 15 millimeter bolt. So you're just gonna stick it on there, and you're gonna be pulling this way, so towards the vehicle. You're gonna pull it up. That's gonna release the tension on this. And when you slide it all off, the issue that you run into is you take it off the alternator, all the different pulleys, water pump, and the AC compressor. And then when you try to pull it up, this motor mount is in the way. There's no way to get it out of the vehicle unless it was broken already. So I actually did replace this. If your serpentine belt snaps on you, you can easily pull it out, but when it's all connected like this in a circle, it gets caught. Let's see if I can get the lighting better. End of my finger right here, there is a casing that a bolt goes through for this motor mount. So the motor mount is connected to the frame with those 2 bolts right there, and then holds right here, and then down there it bolts into the engine with a bolt that you access from by taking this tire off and through there. So it's really not hard. If you take off this front right tire, front passenger tire, you can access the bolt, take it out. The only thing I had issues with was trying to just finagle that thing out. There was one other video that I found helpful. Well, I thought it was going to be helpful because they were taking off the serpentine belt on this very similar vehicle. Only problem is when they got to this part, he looked like he just picked it right up and took it out. And in my case, it kept hitting. I'm not sure if it'll show. Right there, you can see just above the hose, there's a fuzzy little bolt. And that is what that casing kept hitting when I was trying to take it out. So once you take that out, you can just pull this belt right off, no problem. And then there are 3 of these nuts. I encourage you to just look at the new AC compressor you have and compare it, because it's going to be the exact same and it'll help you figure out where the bolts are. So got a bolt there. Actually, rather, it's a nut type deal on a stud. So it's going to actually, when you take this nut off and you get everything disconnected, the AC compressor is going to slide this way towards the battery because it's on studs. Well, it's connected to a bracket that has studs. And so I guess you can see the other one at the end of my finger there. The other one is underneath. You can access from underneath the vehicle. Or through this tire when it's off. So once that is off, you're gonna disconnect, see if you can see here, this connector right here, electrical connector, and there I think is one more bolt, impossible for me to show you, but if you slide under the vehicle and get the right vantage point, that is how I saw it, because I could not figure out how, when I took those 3 nuts off, these obvious 3, why it still wouldn't move an inch. So there's one more bolt on the back, and that was all that was on for mine, at least. I did buy this car very used though, so I'm not sure if there's another bolt that comes with it. I would just encourage you to look, like I said, at your new AC compressor and figure out where there should be bolts and figure it out for yourself. And then what I did was I just kind of obviously do this with the car cold. So this radiator hose was very cold. I just kind of bent it out of the way. Again, the fans are not in here. You're gonna end up disconnecting a 17mm bolt that connects this whole, I can't really show anything else aside from this, but this metal, I'm not sure if it's a part of the AC system or if it's just connected by the bolt, but there's a 17mm bolt holding it onto the AC compressor. So when you take that bolt off, this whole thing can drop a little bit, and it just gives you more room to get the AC compressor out. So you are gonna have to bend over and then make sure you don't like cut yourself on this this heat shield for the exhaust. But I just bent all the way over, slid it, like I said, pretty much along the frame of the bottom of the car under, well, this whole fan won't be here, so that means this won't be here either. All the way along the bottom of the car, bring it up here when this isn't there, once that's out, and then put the other one, or the new one, in the exact same way. Just slide it along the bottom, make sure you have it in the right way, because it's going to be hard to rotate. And it makes it really easy that it's up on studs, because you don't have to like align the bolt holes or anything. So then just slide it back onto the studs, and do everything back in the reverse order then. It's a great time if you look at your serpentine belt. Mine had some good cracks in it, so I just took the opportunity to replace the belt as well, being that nasty little piece that I mentioned was already off down there. But like I said, I'm gonna film another video, I think, on how to replace the serpentine belt if that is all you want to do and you haven't already watched this video all the way through. So if you guys have any questions or anything else that I didn't cover in this video, feel free to leave a comment below. I'll try to get back to you guys as soon as I can, but I hope someone found this somewhat helpful at least.